Overcoming obstacles, the obstacles that get in the way of our dreams. It's really common to hear this subject talked about so often, and I am going to share with you today on self-help, self-belief, what we hear in podcasts, personal development, and in the basically the entrepreneurial space, to talk about making your dreams come true. The journey, the success, morning routines, daily habits, scheduling, mindset, journaling, mind, body, and soul, working on all of these things that make such a difference to us in our lives. These are all so very important, and I cover them in my Master the Skill recordings every single week on different subjects. But basically, it assists us with working on all of the areas needed. But what about the obstacles to success? Overcoming these obstacles to our success. In other words, if we knew what the objections are, what the obstacles are to making our dreams a reality, to making our actual dreams come true, or making progress, if we knew what they were in advance, we could probably reduce them, and we could help each other to reduce them. Maybe not completely eliminate them, but at least reduce the impact day to day that they have on us. No one really talks about these things that people struggle with, often in silence from within. Like, what's going to get in the way of getting funded, being a trader, building an empire, and so forth, were some of my questions. You've got your why, whether it's the people you love, your family, whether it's to change your body, your mind, your soul, to start a business or take your business to the next level, whatever it could be for you. What's in the way? Ask yourself this. What is in the way? What are the things that are going to stop you? What kills most dreams? What are the most dream stealers, we call them? What are the most things that block people from getting to their potential? For me, once you are aware of something, often at times it loses its power over us and over me and over you. Even in your own personal behavior, maybe you have a tendency to turn to anger or worry or frustration. Just your being self-aware though, okay? Maybe say to yourself, I'm being that worried person again. I'm that worrier again. I'm doing that past me shit. It loses 80% of its power over you. So if you're aware of the triggers and you have an awareness, it is such a powerful weapon and the tool bag of success. Now, people in my field have often spoken about their 4 different Ds, different coaches, speakers, leaders, world-class greats, the elites, how to share them. And in my first recording, I shared them. I spoke about discouragement, doubt, delusion, and delay. And I also shared a 5th one, deserve. But what I'm going to cover today, and that I believe are the obstacles to success, by you understanding them in a slightly different manner, and to your bringing them then to your own awareness so that you're able to recognize them in the moment and to assist you with overcoming these obstacles in your life. A couple of them, yes, they may be obvious, but often they are still overlooked day to day when we let them still grab hold of us. And one of them, I think, will be something that you have also probably never heard of, like I once hadn't. I talked about it briefly on one of my other Master the Skill recordings that I do weekly. But today here, I'd like to take more of a deep dive this time into this today with you. If I could be transparent also with you, as we are saying, deep. If I could go deeper with you as a person of faith, as also a Reiki master, a person also of the higher good, and healing with my hands and through sacred symbols too, self-therapy, and far, far more that I reached within for me before you see me here today. Some of my also calling the other side. I'm going to call it something different. I'm going to call it the dark side, the devil. What's the weapon, the poison used against us to go off of our game, our mission, our desires in life, to get us not to chase or pursue our dreams, our potentials, to not get us to a place in life where we can not only change ourselves, but serve others too, to change other people's lives and contribute to our charities, churches, our loved ones, the way we truly like to be able to provide to them with what they too deserve. From our hearts, whatever it is that we truly like to give back and be able to, that is our why. I personally did something called a 7 levels deep why when I did Mastermind, and that was with Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins. And it was actually Dean on this particular day that he reached me, and I did a 7 levels deep, and I'll never forget it. It was also a time very shortly after I did my first live, but it was what got me. It was the 7 levels deep why. I've never experienced anything like it in my life, but it changed me forever. So let's say you're a person of faith. Whatever your faith belief is, this is for everybody, okay? So if you also believe that there is a devil, the dark side, the poison, or if you don't believe in any of that, but you believe there's low vibrational frequency and say high vibrational frequency. When you are successful, you are vibrating on a high vibrational frequency. What gets us to basically operate in a low vibrational frequency? So the first thing is this. Truth always vibrates at the highest frequency. So I'm a big energy person. I share love, I share light, and I share energy to others throughout the world. And that's part of what SRP V8 Diamonds Mastery represent. I am a person of faith. I am also a spiritual person and connect with the whole mind, body, and soul. I practice Reiki daily, and I look at things both ways, okay? I really believe what I call the other side, though, the dark side, the devil, is trying to get us to operate at our lowest vibrational frequency by telling us lies. God in our lives, our being God's creations, the higher good in our lives, is telling us the truth about us, which vibrates on a higher frequency, the highest possible vibrational frequency. And I consider that there are 4 weapons that the devil, the dark side, the poison uses against us to steal our dreams if we let them, or to get us off of our dreams, our potential, or our vision, our future. And so where I'm going to go with this is, if you choose, you can just look at it very basically and in simple terms also, if you so please. What are the 4 things that are objections inside to me, getting in the way of me becoming who I want to be? Ask yourself that question. What are the 4 things that are objections inside to me, getting in the way of me becoming who I want to be? Reach inside of you, wherever they come from and why they come. I'd like to cover them and I'd like to go through them with you today. So thank you for listening and taking the time for you today. I think that it's really important to point out also what I'm going to share with you. When you see these happening and when you feel or see they're coming in the future, you can then identify them. That's not from God, the higher force. That's from the devil, the dark side. It's something not a high vibrational frequency. It's a low vibrational frequency. That's not true. That's a lie about me. So here are the 4 weapons, lethal weapons, that I will use for the term the dark side, that it uses against us for us not to have our dreams. The 4 Ds, the lethal weapons. So the first D is, if I am sharing the poison with you coming from the dark side, then I want you to quit. I want you to quit on your dreams, not to chase who you can become, who you can be, not help the people you truly want to help and save, not make a difference in the world, not to reach your full potential. I'm going to use that first weapon from the dark side coming at you, against you. Discouragement against you. I am going to try and get you discouraged, off the beaten track, using that weapon against you. If I can just get you just a little bit discouraged, dig that weapon in a little bit, you'll flinch, question yourself, question things. You'll lose confidence. You won't believe that you are worthy. So if I can discourage you, give you some setbacks, give you some trying situations to deal with right now, some trials and tribulations, have somebody let you down or hurt you or take from you, if I can just get you discouraged, because discouragement is really the opposite of courage. To encourage is one thing, but to discourage is the other. So this is with people. I could get haters. I could get critics for you. I could get the negative people for you. I can fully load you up with failure, load you up with the worst type of discouragement that doesn't come from a hater. The worst type of discouragement comes from somebody that loves you and that you love. If I really want to get you off your course, I will get a parent, a sibling, or a spouse to say, listen, I'm telling you this because I love you. and what you're doing is not going to work, okay? And why it's not going to work, you're not cut out for it. I know you. This is why. It's not the right time for you. It's not the right time for us. I discourage you. I remove courage and encouragement for and from you rather than encourage you and support you. So now when something happens in your life and it discourages you, know that this is a weapon, a lethal weapon coming from the dark side. The outside forces trying to poison your beautiful, beautiful mind, body, and soul. Discouragement is a lethal weapon that the weak use against the strong, so that the strong don't prevail. It's really true, and it is a lie. It's an indication of a lie, let me tell you. Not what actually may be happening in true, but the impact that it has on you is magnified and used against you tenfold. It's a lie. Then it gets you to reduce your vibrational frequency. And all of a sudden, you know what I'm referring to, okay? You're now not moving with that same swagger that you had, that confidence, that reason why that you told me about, that you need. If I could just get you to move just a little bit, okay? People ask me all of the time, I'd like to trade with you. Can you give me some live trades? Can I sit with you? I want to work with you. I want to see what it is that you do. I want to work one-to-one with you. I want to be able to do what you do, what you are doing, have the success with my trading that you are having with yours, being on the Masters Club every single week. Often at times, the main things that they are needing to work on is their courage, their own courage, their confidence, their own worthiness. Because if they can get into a slump, they can get discouraged. Recently, taken quite a few lessons perhaps. Their confidence is low. Their strategy doesn't work anymore. They need what I'm doing. Their focus has dropped. So basically their vibrational frequency has dropped. Their confidence then drops. They fail that funded challenge, say perhaps. They lose that funded account. They blow their own account. And all of a sudden, they are so gifted, so talented, so amazing, superhumans, but they can't perform at their peak level because they're discouraged. Does that make sense? And this happens in every single area of our own lives. That is the lethal weapon coming from the dark side of discouragement. Can take the best of the best in the world, and it can reduce them to very average and ordinary, or worse still, below that. The dark side. Because they have some evidence. At some point, they have had such a high win rate, say, or had a huge success in their field for a season, and all of a sudden, the last 10, 20, 50, 100 trades, say, you've had more lessons. Or this discouragement will get you to believe you no longer can hit that ball like you could. Trade like you did, or others are. Dribble that ball and put it in the back of that net like you did. Talk and walk like you did. Because it's called life. You tell yourself you were never that good. It was always just a fluke for you. The market is always out to get you. It's all right for you, but the market's always out to get me. The stop hunters are out. Which is, of course, a great, big, fat lie. You've already proven it otherwise. Others have too. So for you in your own life, it's a lie when you are discouraged. God did not create you and make you to be discouraged, did not make you inferior, to make you not bright enough, intelligent enough, good enough for it, that you have chosen to do what you love. Did not make you less than someone else, have a different kind of brain to someone else, less than capable. But the dark side, the poison it feeds your beautiful mind, wants you to believe that, right? Failure, by the way, wants you to believe that. Forget the faith for a minute and the spiritual part, okay? Just for a moment. Failure wants you to be discouraged. Success wants you to be encouraged. So from this moment on, when you see this first lethal weapon that I've just shared with you, discouragement, it's like, I like to relate to it like Scrooge with all of the different ghosts that were sent to him. Yeah, the ghost of Christmas past. Do you remember that? Know that it's weak. Know that it's a lie. Know that there is obstacles that are put in our way, put in your way, to make you trip over it and get in the way, to send you off that beaten track. You can overcome these obstacles, these 4 lethal weapons, these Ds. You become successful. So the first thing is, when you see of experience discouragement, is for you to be aware of it. Know that it is a lethal weapon from the weak. Know that it's a lie and that there's just an obstacle. If you overcome these 4 Ds, these 4 lethal weapons sent to you from the dark side, you don't take the poison and you don't let it feed your mind, and you become successful. So the first thing is, when discouragement hits you in the face, full force, like it comes from nowhere, is to recognize it, to get rid of it, to call it for what it is, to know what it is and understand what it is. And by the way, when something discouraging indicates itself and it rears its ugly head to you, is that you are on a path to something great. Know that. The dark side wouldn't be it would not even be attaching itself to you if you were not onto something great. Failure wouldn't be trying to chase you if you weren't on the way to being successful. So the very presence of a discouraging circumstance or circumstances, a discouraging event, a discouraging conversation, a discouraging mindset, a discouraging loved one, is indicating to you that you are on the path to doing something truly great. Let me be real with you as well, okay? I'm always real. I come from the heart. I've had discouraging situations happen all of the time. But would you know when? In different areas of my and our lives, whether it be someone lets me down, or I've heard that they've said something bad about me, or I've made a mistake, or I've had a setback. 3 weeks ago, perhaps my reel didn't go viral like I'd hoped, when I have been showing up every day. I didn't have 20 paid accounts yet. That discouragement is trying to get me not to be great. The very fact that that's happening means I'm in the pursuit of greatness. So the first weapon, the first D to destroy you and to distract you, if you let it, is discouragement. That's a lethal weapon sent from the dark side to you. It's a weapon of the devil. It's got poison on it. The weapon of the weak, weapon of failure. However you wish to look at it, it's a lie. Let me tell you, it is a big fat lie. Low vibrational frequency. Truth vibrates at the highest level of frequency. Just remember that. The second lethal weapon used against you from the dark side is coming. The second D, doubt. If I can get you doubting, if I can get your mind riddled with questions of whether I am good enough, whether or not it can really happen or not for me, whether it's really possible for me. I don't think it's possible using that strategy with this pair. It doesn't work for me, that setup and that risk to reward. I've back tested it over and over, but I don't think it works. Whether it's worth it or not, whether I can trust, whether I'm clear, whether I'm crazy, whether I'm just not cut out for this, whether I'm not intelligent enough, whether I'm an imposter, whether or not I can get you doubting in your own ability, in yourself, I've got you. There's no way for you to perform at the highest level in life. Take the highest risk to reward ratio, get to chairman in the presence of doubt. You may be able to perform okay, make enough money to get you by sometimes, be it not that consistently. But if you are out there doubting your every last move, doubting yourself, doubting others that have done it and are showing you how, flinching, being fearful, questioning, not listening, you've all been having someone tell you something, okay, haven't you? And you can tell that they doubt their belief in what they are doing. The doubt their own belief is in themselves. You've all had that exam or that test, or had to take, one of your loved ones, maybe your children perhaps, have had to take a test. You know, when they're getting nervous, they doubt whether or not that they can do well. The footballer walking up to the penalty shootout, doubting that they can score against that top goalkeeper. They are doomed failure before they even took their foot to the ball, because of the self-doubt, and their body language told it all. Doubt is a lie. A big fat lie. Someone who knows that they can do something, believes that they can do something, that is truth. People share with me, again, all of the time, I love my children. I don't know why they're not doing better at school or in life as their adulthood. Why they're not happier. Even though I'm not a mother, I can speak from my heart, from what I was lacking from my parents, from my upbringing, from my siblings once as a child and in my adult years. Every parent loves, or should love, their children. That's like a golden ticket into the game. It's like winning the golden ticket in, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But do your children know that you love them, more importantly? Do your children know that you believe in them? Do you sow belief into them? I know that that's something I did not have. I don't say that to make you feel sorry for me, but that's something that I did not have. If you have that in your life, do you sow belief into them? Do you have a spouse that you want to be doing something for, perhaps, or that they are perhaps not doing, that you would like them to be doing? Maybe stepping up financially, stepping up and starting a business, supporting you in the way that you'd like or hope that they would. Loving them is great, and it's mandatory, or should be. And I say that because my past, some of my past, a huge area of my past, had to be let go of. But the important part, why I'm telling you this, is, You know, this is to, do they feel the belief? Do they show and give you the belief? If you are a parent, also, do you show the belief? Do the people that care about you and that you care about show the belief? Do you not believe in yourself because they or someone never had the belief in you once or even now? There are things that I don't do very well at in life, of course. There's a long list of those things. Let me tell you, it's taken time and effort to reduce that list gradually. There are also things that I do very, very well at. I believe in others. I believe in people. And this is one of the reasons why I chose to help people and to believe in themselves when they feel no one else cares about them. I do that with love and light, truth and honesty, because it goes deep, deep within my heart. But once it was my darkest moments. But my darkest moments, when I moved through them, have become my light. So one of the weapons, the lethal weapons sent from the dark side, I find reasons to believe in people. I am looking for giftedness, their uniqueness, the diamonds, a little rough around the edges, but all born to shine through the light, radiating through them. I'm looking for the diamonds, the highest of creations, the higher good, God's gift that He gave them, so that I can truly, authentically believe in them myself. I too had to heal myself first before I could assist others authentically, based on something that's true about them. I'm looking for diamonds. I'm looking for belief. I'm not looking to doubt. I'm not looking to prejudge. I don't mean trust. I mean believe in their ability to do something of value, bring value, looking for their goodness within, believing in their ability to perform that I see in them. Great leaders lead with love. They don't just love people, they believe in people as a consequence. When they believe, and at that highest level that vibrates at a high frequency, they transfer that energy, that belief to the person they are leading, who they gave permission to lead them the right way for them to become the best version of themselves that they too wish to become. The child and children are leading, and that person, now fused with belief and the right mindset and lots of belief, riddles out doubt. So they bury the dark side. They throw all of the weapons away sent to them from the devil. They don't take or accept the poison. And this belief does that. Now, when a believer in their faith doubts, it really means they are not connected to their faith. Because you wouldn't be doubting your ability to do something. You wouldn't be doubting your greatness. You wouldn't be doubting your favor if you were truly operating in faith and from the heart. So again, it is such a strong, strong, lethal weapon of the dark side, the devil, of the weak, feeding you the poison. It's a weapon of failure if you believe in nothing spiritually, because it's a big, fat lie. When you are doubting, it is a lie. When you are believing, it's truth. You were born to do something great. That's why I wrote the book, Born to Serve and Sparkle, Mind, Body and Soul. And it's part of my mastermind. With your own life, you were born with your own unique, gifted being and talents. that may be something you take for granted because they are not used to now doing anything different. People do that. My husband thought he was gifted to be a carpenter, which he is. And I shared with him that he is gifted with many things. He is gifted with his hands. And whether he puts his mind to it, like what he thinks, his hands can do anything that he puts his mind to. He can do anything. He's not just an amazing carpenter. If he can change his mind, he can be anything that he truly wants to be. And he did that. And he is. Cristiano Ronaldo at football, Beyonce Knowles at singing. We all have our own uniqueness within. We just need to find the way to shine and share our findings with others. All these great gifts, great speakers. What a gift. What a presence. That is a gift and it is a talent. Mastering oneself is the highest gift you can give to yourself. There are so many other gifts that are equally important. Yes, of course, the gift of kindness, the gift of generosity, the gift of value, the gift of toughness, the gift of consistency, the gift of love, the gift of maths, the gift of problem solving, the gift of light, the gift of energy, the gift of healing, the gift of education, the gift of freedom, the gift of humor, the gift of beauty, speech, therapy, intellect, the mind, the body, the soul, nurturing ability, guidance to others, serving, strength, vision, caring, warmth, acceptance, positivity, peace under pressure. There's all kinds of amazing gifts that people have within them, and they take them for granted because they've had them all or most of their life. It comes second nature to them, and they don't think that they're all that special. When we are not connected to our unique giftness, okay, we doubt. So doubt is a lie. It's a big fat lie. Doubt is a lethal weapon deep within, sent from the dark side. Doubt is a weapon of the weak. Doubt will kill your dreams if you take its poison. So when you are feeling doubt, see it for what it is. Don't let it have its power over you, and know the dark side. And so the opposite to that is that I've got to believe to see the light. If you are leading somebody in a business or of a family you are leading, doubting within what's really necessary for them as that person to grow, what's needed is more belief from you to them. You've got to feed their belief, feed their mind full of goodness, and this will reel out the doubt. Okay? The third weapon, sent from the dark side. The lethal weapon is coming, okay? You know what to expect now. The dark side sent to you. And it's going to get you off your dream. That life will use to get you off that track, off the right path that you are on. So the dark side has already sent you discouragement, and it's already sent you doubt. It's already sent you 2 lethal weapons, and it's going to send you another. It's then going to send you delusion, and that is seeing things for what they aren't. Delusion, seeing things for what they aren't. Usually delusion is making you believe 2 things, okay? 1, making you believe a problem is bigger and worse than it is. And what we then do is we do something that's called thought stacking. When we get a problem, we repeat the problem over and over and over again. And we get on that hamster wheel, I call it. And we can't get back off that because we are racing and going around in a circle so fast that we can't get off of it. That's overwhelm. Also within our own minds, often feeling like a scrambled mess, I call it. Yeah, you feel me? I know that's what mine used to feel like. But if you've ever done that before, and I know that you must have, I know you have, we all have, thinking, that thought about 20 times over in our minds, I don't know if I've got the answer. I just haven't got the answer. If I think about it another 600 times, I'm sure I'm going to get there then. And eventually I'm going to come up with the answer. I'll just do this first, just for now though, I think, because it's easier, isn't it? And then I'll do that when I've done that first, yeah? I will. Yeah, I think I'll do that. But what this does is it actually makes you delusional. You then you begin to believe these things that aren't true. And then it makes it bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's growing, isn't it? Yeah, the other type, there's the other type of delusion. And this can come from ego, where you believe something about yourself, that you are better than you are, meaning that your ego takes over. And I'm not talking about a gift here, okay? I'm talking about you start believing your own newspaper cutting, that you are just so incredible. And I've seen so many people get delusional on their own success, that they get high off their own success. They end up making stupid decisions, like if you go out and get drunk, or high person would, someone that's on drugs or something, that's high on some sort of substance anyway, but off of their own success. Yeah, their previous success makes them delusional thinking, and it's just going to happen forever. Yeah, now that I'm successful, it's autopilot, everything I touch turns to gold. That's delusion. The other type of delusion is the problem is the end of the road for me. I'm in a dark place. It's got so huge I can't get out of what I'm in. It's too late. It just proves I'm not worth it. It proves I'm a fake, a failure. It proves I'm an imposter. This failure I'm feeling, this failure makes you delusional. You don't see things clearly for what they are. And that's just number one part of delusion, okay? The other part of delusion is that it makes you think that your dreams and your success is much further away than it truly is. And if I can get you delusional by thinking, I don't know, 20 years from now, only 30 years from now, if I can just get you delusional, what you'll do is you'll start pacing yourself. You'll start acting like somebody who's not going to achieve success, happiness, bliss, love for 20 years, a delusional distance somewhere in the future, somewhere out there. Then what happens is you start creating patterns and beliefs, thoughts, processes in your life that keep it out of reach to you and that far away from you. And the truth is, it's not that far away. The truth is, you're usually one decision away, one relationship away, getting one new client, one new customer, one trade, one account, one podcast, one reel. You're one away. The delusion that it's so far away, that's delusional thinking, okay? If you look at the history of most successful people, it's one decision from the future, one relationship away, one meeting away, one person, one new thought, one trade, one account, one new encounter, one new strategy, one connection away from completely changing their life. So delusion gets you to believe that something is far worse than it is, or you're far better than you are. That's delusion. Both those can kill a dream. Or delusion is a distant or distance issue or depth perception. So far, I have covered with you 3 weapons from the dark side. Okay? 3-dimensional, 3Ds if you are delusioned, okay? The 3Ds. How amazing is this when you start to see it though, right? The light, and you realize you are already right there, closer than you think or thought, okay? I'm right there. You're right there. When we see them, we'll know what they are now, okay? So when I'm doubting, I know that's a lie. I know it's a weapon coming from the dark side. It's a weapon filled with poison, weapon of failure, low vibrational frequency. When I'm discouraged, I know for sure that someone or something is trying to get me off the beaten track, back on their own path, not mine. Get me knocked down, not to believe, get me distracted, get me to quit, get me to give in, get me to forget that I have courage, that I'm strong, that I'm resilient, that I'm bold, that my vision is clear as the light of day. If those things don't work, man, then I'm going to try to get that person to break. I'm going to get that person delusional. If I can't get you discouraged, if I can't get you doubting, I'll just get you delusional. I'm going to get you thinking that it's way further away than it actually is. You're never going to get there. I didn't, so neither will you. What you're doing is a scam. This problem is way bigger than it really, really is, okay? Or it's way further away from you, the success you want. So these are the 3Ds sent from the dark side, the lethal weapons so far. The fourth one, I've never spoken about this before, okay? This fourth one was shared with me. And it comes from the dark side. It sends this fourth weapon that failure uses. That's low vibrational frequency. And that fourth lethal weapon coming from the dark side is delay. This is huge, okay? This is the big one, let me tell you. And I'm going to get you to delay making that decision, delay starting to write the book, delay starting your speaking, delay doing your personal growth, delay starting your business, delay making that contact, delay speaking to people, delay going after your dreams, delay starting, delaying being healthier, delay starting to trade, delay starting your new venture. I'm going to get you to delay doing absolutely everything. Delay is a massive, massive lethal weapon of the weak. It's a weapon of the average. I have so many people in the team that are always trying to get things perfect before they start building that empire that they call it. When I quit my job, then I'll start. When I master trading, then I'll build the business. I have to be successful first to be able to share with someone else what I have found. I found this before I can share it with others. Otherwise, they're going to think I'm a scam. I've got to make sure it works first because I can't share it unless I do that. I tell people all of the time, you don't need to be perfect. You need it to be now. I need you now, and you need you now. Perfection is the enemy of success. Perfection is actually the lowest possible standard. It's never going to be reached, let me tell you. So what happens is you delay. And I remember coming into a company, and I'm going to share something deep here. And a leader said to me, at the time, she said to me, Stella, well, she didn't actually, she said, Missy, she said, when you hit a certain rank, then you can share the opportunity. Needless to say, yes, that was another leader that come and went. Another asking me to share what it was that I wished to share first in the group with them. And I shared, they were asking me what I was wanting to share with others, my team. Yeah. They lost my people through greed and delaying me. Don't reach people and don't teach people to be perfect, to make yourself look great. Teach people to shine and grow. Life isn't just yours for the taking. Lead people that wish to be led by you with love, truth, and honesty, but never delay yourself or them. That's not your choice to make. Most successful people, although they are preparation, like digital content creation freaks, they have a lower threshold of, they basically think that they need to know everything before they get started, okay? Or everything has to be perfect that they put out there. Otherwise, people won't think that they're big out there. But they've built something within, let's say, I don't know, they'll figure it out when they get there. Those types of people, yeah? The people that say that they built something and they'll figure that out, though, when they get there. I'll figure the next step out when I get there. I'm not going to stop that getting me there. I'll figure that out. If you think about anyone, whether it be a leader or a person that's ever built something truly great, what if they first had to think through every single thing first, and that they had to know everything before that they got started, or they could help you? That they would have delayed and delayed, and it would have set you back, and it would never have happened because they never shared anything with you, because they had to be great and they had to be perfect. Henry Ford, for example, I remember I came from the motor trade, and I always remember this, but he started Ford Motor Company. But think way back then, what if he'd thought, okay, wait a minute, if I actually build these cars, who's going to fix them? There's no car mechanics, there's no garages. There's going to be lots of cars, but I don't think I should actually get started building these cars. I need to find the mechanics first to work on them, because when they go wrong, then what? Oh, what about the tyres? Yeah, the spare parts, the repairs, who's going to sell them for me? If you thought about everything, every single thing, and what happens, what happens when they run out of fuel? Where are they going to get fuel for them? Think of all these types of things. You would never get started. Steve Jobs and Apple, Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook. What if they started to think, well, hang on a minute, what happens if there's no internet? What happens with the technology and the updates? How are we going to keep up with that? What happens with this, though? What happens with that, though? You'd turn absolutely crazy, wouldn't you? You'd never get started with absolutely anything if you were to think through of all of these types of things. Successful people do it in motion. I can teach you how to drive a parked car. You can't. I can't teach you how to drive a parked car, can I? You have to get behind the wheel and you have to get moving. No more delays. Successful people know once I get in that driving seat, I'm V8 driven, that next level. When I get to do that, I'll figure out the how. I'll figure out how I then fly when I get there. When I get to the next level, I will get to the next level. I'll figure it out when I get there. When life throws me a curveball, a problem, I'll figure it out when I get there. I just need to get in the room, surround myself with the right people that can help me and get me there too. Why? Because they have. I've got to get to the next step first. You don't need to have every step figured out. And by the way, God laughs at our great plans anyway. If you think you've got every single step figured out until you get hit with that same curveball. I remember Mike Tyson also, he had that famous quote, didn't he? Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. Life punches us in the face. You get back up. You've got to. You've got to have this belief that when, not if, I get punched in the face, or I lose, or I don't pass my trading evaluation, or I lose my live account, I'm going to get back up. I'm going to figure it out like the other successful people have, not the people that delay. I'm going to loss adjust, you could say. You'd watch a football match. They can just have all of the gifted talent out there, They've paid millions for those footballers. And on the penalty shootout, he pulls a hamstring or she pulls a hamstring. Now they can't even run some of these ways, or the defense. Let's just say that I don't know, they didn't think things out properly, who they're playing against, and the set piece play doesn't work against this particular team, or a penalty fails, or you fall way behind. Things happen in life. You are building to improvise sometimes. To figure it out needs some adjustment along the way. Without all of the preparation, trial and error, you don't need all the answers. Preparation and practicing is critical, and the separation is in the preparation. Don't get me wrong, you can't prepare for everything, okay? No, you can't. You do not know what you do not know. But you can also learn while you earn. Also learn as you grow. And eventually you have to take that sip of faith in yourself and take a step. Successful people get going faster than unsuccessful people. They are doers, they are leaders, they're not followers. Unsuccessful people, unfulfilled, unhappy people live their life in delay and misery. It's the lethal weapon sent from the dark side to get you to lose, or at least not to your full potential. When you are not expanding, you're being incapable of giving the maximum amount of effort that you could, experiencing emotions on the deepest level you could, creating memories that you can and could have, but you are missing them. When you delay, you become an unfulfilled human being. By definition, that makes you unsuccessful. And I can tell you right now, there's a direct correlation between people that delay. Listen, to the best time to make contact usually is right now. The best time to take advantage of a situation is right now. The best time to make a move is right now. Not every single time, but your default answer should be now, straight away. I'll do it now. Your default answer should be now. Now, there are some things in life that need marinating a little, yeah? They need to take a little bit of time, and that's the exception, not the rule. But most people live that as their rule, as the rule. The exception is that they don't delay. Successful people, their default answer is to go now, and they will delay by exception, not rule. And so, the most powerful weapon that the dark side will also use, the devil will bring you the poison. Success will use, failure will use big time, okay? Getting you to delay. So if you are delaying right now, by definition, you are operating on a low vibrational frequency, and the dark side has his hands all over you, using all of his secret lethal weapons against you. Failure has their hands all over you. No more delay. It's the fourth lethal weapon that will come to you from the dark side. Often at times, the first three lethal weapons, the 3Ds, cause you to do the fourth, okay? And use all of the weapons given to you from the dark side, which is delay your dreams and delay in your life. Now, here's the truth that you may or you may not wish to hear, but you are going to hear it anyway if you're still listening to me. You don't know how long you have. People in our industry, only this year, and a friend of mine, my best friend in fact, she passed away at 30. And recently, friends of mine that are around the same age as myself right now. I had one that I had talked to on a given day, and she was murdered and gone the next. I had a past relationship, someone that was very unhappy. He took his own life. We don't know how much time we have. I think sometimes all of us think everybody else is going to die, just not me. None of us know. I don't know when that time's coming for you. It could be in 5 days, it could be in 5 minutes, it could be in 50 years. But I also know that dreams have an expiration date, the same as what we eat and drink does. If you delay too long, the dream dies. You'll miss the moment. There's something divine, the divine timing in life. There's something in the timing, and what the dark side is trying to do is get you to miss your time. Start the business too late. What if Jeff Bezos started Amazon today and not what he did 30 years ago? Do you understand that the unique timing matters? What if that person that you're married to now, sharing life with now, that you would have waited, not married them, gone out with them, asked them out even? You may not even have that precious person in your life right now. Many people don't. Timing matters. Delaying is almost always wrong. Always the weapon of failure. It's almost always the weapon, the lethal weapon the dark side uses in our life against us. So today, when you see discouragement coming at you, you know what it is and you are aware and you make the shift. When you see doubt or fear, you experience doubt coming at you from the dark side with its lethal weapons. You now know where that comes from. You now know exactly what it is. It's both the weapon of the weak, weapon from the dark side, weapon used from the devil, and it's an indicator that you are about to do something great, truly remarkable. If you are a true professional, the elite, you can't have discouragement and doubt if you work in the game. But because you are in the game, you've got to deal with doubt and discouragement, delusion. We start making something worse than it actually is, or we start believing that we are so incredible that our greatness is beyond our biggest belief. We get a little bit delusional, or we believe something is further away than it is, and we have a delusional belief system. Once we have that, we now know where that comes from. We are aware and have awareness around it. Then we make a shift. What if my dream was right around the corner? What if my dream was right now? What if I am immensely qualified to make this happen? What if this problem isn't quite as bad because God's got his hands on my life and there's favor and I'm going to get something for my pain here? I'm going to get a lesson. On the other side of this temporary pain, I'm going to learn something that I didn't know before. I'm going to experience an emotion or have an understanding that I didn't have prior. That is why we don't want to be delusional. Delay. I know what's happening here. The dark side is trying to get me to flinch from his weapons, trying to get me to wait, to slow down, to cool it, trying to get me to keep preparing, to become perfect, get perfection in every single thing that I do. I know this is a weapon of destruct, a weapon for the weak, a weapon of failure. There's a weapon of and coming from the dark side. I'm not going to allow that in my life because I was born to do something great with the tools that I have been given in my lifetime. Okay? So I've shared with you the 4 lethal weapons from the dark side today, the 4 Ds in my way. When they approach you, and let me tell you, they will, you now know what they are, where they come from, and what to do about them. And I'm going to tell you, picture your life. When you call out doubt when it comes and you rid yourself of it as quickly and as possible, your life, a life where you're not discouraged except for in very short pockets of time that you get out of. You don't live in delusion. You live in clarity and focus and passion and peace and love, and you don't delay. what would you look like? And I'm going to ask you that again. If you had a life that wasn't riddled with doubt, what would your life look like? What would you look like? Not riddled with delusion and not riddled with delay. What would your life look like right now? What kind of life would you have? I think we both know. The life that you deserve to have, which is the 5th D. This is the beautiful weapon. You deserve to have an amazing life. You deserve to make your dreams come true. Your loved ones deserve to see the best possible version of you, achieving and contributing at the highest possible capacity that you were born to have. God deserves all of that favor that He's poured on you, to see you pay it back with your best effort in serving Him. So from us here today, I'm Stella Jane Penn from SRP V8 Diamonds Mastery, with a little introduction from Claus and Gizmo throughout. Love and light, everybody. Know that I'm talking to you.